Hello everyone, welcome to our webinar today. I'm Elena from Social Insider, content writer, and we have with us today the Instagram expert, Sue Zimmerman. Sue, thanks very, very much for being here today with us.
Yeah, I'm excited to be here. You can call me Sue B. I go by Sue B all over the internet.
Okay, it's a deal. Okay, so as a short introduction, guys, just letting you know that lately my team and I have conducted an engagement study, and we wanted to see where Instagram engagement is headed nowadays. Since with the pandemic, there have been some changes. What are the trends? What best practices are nowadays good for social media managers to use? And here we have Sue to answer our questions and maybe give us some info and some recommendations about it. On short introduction, we discovered that maybe because of the pandemic, there was a spike in the first half of 2020 in the engagement, and then a sudden drop, and now the values are going back to the ones that were in 2019. So what's your opinion on this?
Yeah, so I am a business owner who focuses mostly on conversations from content that I share and curate on the Instagram expert and teach on my YouTube channel. And really, I know that more people are on their phones than ever before because a lot of people feel somewhat isolated, and it is a way to socially connect globally. And I've seen amazing results in our business because honestly, if you are anywhere in the world, you can be using Instagram to grow a business, a brand, a movement, a philanthropy very quickly and very easily. So when I teach Instagram marketing, and I have been teaching Instagram marketing for the past 8 years, for me, it always starts with strategy and starts with creating content that would speak to those that you want to do business with. But to answer your question, yes, I agree. There's probably a spike in users for sure. I think we're climbing close to 2 billion monthly active users on Instagram. And when I started teaching 8 years ago, there were 140 million monthly active users. So clearly there's more people here on the platform and more opportunity for all of us globally. I have a global audience, and we have students from all over the world. So if you are really someone looking to use, in my opinion, the most powerful marketing tool of the decade, Instagram is worth your time. It's worth your efforts as long as you have a strategy.
Yeah, that's very, very true. So what about the type of content? Like when you're a business and when you focus on generating more engagement for your account. For example, we saw that carousels are now the big bad wolf, to say like that. And at the time, this type of post is generating the most engagement. What do you say? What do you think is the explanation for this?
I definitely think that carousel posts can be extremely powerful if they're done correctly. And we've been doing them ever since they became a new feature. And I love them for so many reasons. So for those who are listening, a carousel post, you can share up to 10 pieces of content in one post, and you can alternate photos and videos. You can either have it be all photos, you can have it be all videos. And the reason I love them is because it keeps people on your content longer. So that, that engagement rate helps when you get your followers to stick and stay and swipe and read and take action. And so for me, taking action and strategically doing a carousel means having a hook at the beginning of that carousel, whether it's the visual or it's literally the hook of the description, and then telling people to swipe to see more content. And what I love is that Instagram serves up your content to your followers. If they didn't see the one that's in your feed post, they will show them another carousel clip in, when they log on to Instagram again. So you might get their attention the second or third time if you've added content in that carousel. I also love carousels because my team and I strategically create them so that at least one of them is shareable content into a story. And we all want more engagement. We all want more likes, more comments. And for me, I love saves and shares. The more shares we get, the more we know that our message is being amplified to other audiences who we might not necessarily have reached because people are amplifying, promoting, and broadcasting our content that is relevant to their audience. And so, carousel posts, I see so many people not doing them correctly. I see so many missed opportunities. And then I see, some of my students who specifically are podcasters are really using the carousel post strategically with the audio feature that you can add to a video and teasing the podcast episode. No one really cares who your guest is on your podcast, like the face of your guest. It's not that interesting except to you and your guest, but people are curious about the soundbite and what you're talking about and teaching. And so, in my opinion, the carousel of a podcaster should not be leading with your guest photo in the feed. That is not interesting. That is not intriguing. Most likely it's not going to get engagement. And so there are strategies depending on what industry you have. And because there are so many podcasters and a lot of my students have a podcast, I just want to say that there's ways to strategically to get people to actually want to tap the link in your bio to go listen to that episode and then subscribe and hopefully write you a 5-star review. So there's a lot of strategies that can work with all different industries when it comes to creating content in the feed. And because feed posts can be a post, an IGTV, a carousel, a reel. There's a lot of different ways that you can amplify your content depending on how you know that your audience likes to receive it. And carousel post, hands down, one of the best strategies to increase that engagement and viewership.
Yeah, that's true. You just mentioned the power of the save button, let's say like that. And I wanted to ask, what do you think it's the reason maybe the users prefer to like or comment or save more a certain type of post, and what it would be like, I don't know, for videos, most people are drawn to commenting.
Well, I disagree. I think people save. I mean, people comment when they want to be part of a conversation, when they want to show up and contribute to the content. And so, whether it's videos or posts, it doesn't matter as long as there's a call to action to get people to take action, to leave that comment. In my opinion, saves are so it's like the reward from your efforts. It's like, wow, so many people are saving this. Now, you have to remember, people might be saving it and say, oh, I got to do this like Sue B, or I like this photo, or I like this video, and it's inspired me, and it's something I want to refer back to. And for those of you that don't know, the save icon is the ribbon. I like to call it the ribbon icon on the bottom right. When you tap it, there's a plus sign that pops up. And when you tap that plus sign, you can create a category. So I am always breaking things down and not assuming that people understand how to save. Some people don't even know what we're talking about until you tell them that it's a feature. So the save button is a feature that you can use to create categories. So I always tell people, if you like my tips, save it. It's the icon on the bottom right. Create a category called Sue B Tips, and you can refer back to them when you need them. A lot of the content that we create in my feed might be too advanced for somebody starting out. They might not be ready to do whatever, real tip I'm giving, because they're not even doing feed posts yet. So you shouldn't start with a reel. You should start with a strategy. but you might want to come back to this someday and you might want to find it. And so the best way to do that is to save it. Saves can be boards of information that you refer back to, or you get inspiration from, or ideas. And my team and I are constantly saving different things. For me, I save exercises and healthy, smoothies that I can make. So saves are different for every person. Obviously, use it strategically to refer back to content that you want to access quickly. And I'm all about saving time. Time is money. So this is a strategic way to save time.
Got it. Okay, so we talked about a bit earlier about carousels, and since they are so powerful, I want to ask you: do you think this is the maybe best type of content to use when someone wants to boost a post on Instagram or for ads? What clients should choose for this particular purpose?
Not necessarily. I mean, we have a lot of ads going and they're just a single post. We do a lot of split testing. We know what our best performing ads are, usually a photo with my picture in it, but ad strategies is a whole nother animal. And I have an ads team and I have team members that manage ads, but we've done carousel ads and they've been okay. But we always look at our data and look at our conversion rate and see which ones perform. And it's not necessarily the carousel post. It's usually just a photo of me with a saying or videos. Our video ads do great.
Okay, interesting. Now, I'd like to point. Well, yeah, you said strategy is very important, and it's what every social media manager should start with. And of course, everything works different from client to client. It depends very much on the direction, on the audience they had. So when a brand, for example, wants to create its social media strategy, what do you think is the best caption length to use? Longer or shorter videos, and maybe paired with what type of content?
Yeah. So the description, by the way, for those of you that are on Clubhouse, I have a club called The Real Deal, and I talk about things like this frequently. And this week I broke down the 3 components of a caption. So a caption has a hook, a description, and a call to action. And it all starts with the visual, the capture of the visual, the capture of the video or the photo. That is literally what stops someone in their scroll. And if you hook them in with the right first 75 characters and they're interested in what you have to say, they will keep reading that description. For me and my team, it all depends on our goal for that piece of content. Sometimes our best performing pieces of content are shorter captions. For example, we shared a graphic post about April 1st being, a new month, a new beginning, and just all a new quarter. And that got so many shares and likes, and it was a very short caption. It was relatable to so many people. And because of that, they shared it, they saved it, and they commented. We often have longer post captions, and you can have up to 2,200 characters in a description caption. And I like to call it a micro blog. And you will often see that our captions are longer because I'm always teaching you something that requires either the steps or the information in detail so that you keep reading and then finally take action on the call to action. So it really depends. We go back to strategy, back to each individual piece of content. What is the purpose of this content and where will it lead someone? For us, often it's either to our YouTube channel, Sue Zimmerman. We want to get more subscribers. We want people to tap the bell when they subscribe. We also lead people to our free training, which is our 3 keys training. And we share that in the link in our bio, in our stories, in our DM. We also want people to be a part of our community. And so we welcome conversations and what I like to call comment threads in every piece of content that's created that has to do with the conversation, the description. So there's no black and white here. It really is knowing your audience, knowing what they need, creating a compelling content piece of content, and having a description that really is relevant to your audience. Because if it's not relevant to your audience, you're never going to win at Instagram marketing.
Yeah, that's true.
I know.
So thank you very much for your time and your insights. They're very helpful. Now I advise everyone who's with us today to drop their questions or any subject that's an interest to tell us. And I think that would be all for today. If you have anything to add, Sue?
Yeah, I like action takers. So if you're listening on YouTube or if you're listening on Facebook or if you're listening on Twitter, I am all about action takers. If I am in your ear, I want to meet you. Come on over to the Instagram expert. Let me know what really resonated with you. Leave a comment so I can connect with you, and make sure that you check out my free training, SueBZimmerman.com/3 keys. You can go through that, and you can always consume my free content over on YouTube. And I look forward to connecting with you on Instagram. Thanks.
Bye. Have a nice day, everyone, and see you soon.